What's up guys, R13 here and welcome to another Gunpla review. So today we will be reviewing the RE100 Vigna Ghina from the Gundam F91 series. The Vigna Ghina was just recently released in June 2018 with a price tag of 3200 yen. And remember, price varies depending on location and website. I actually do have a soft spot for this unit due to the fact that aside from the L-Strike Gundam that I got over a decade ago as my first official Gunpla, I ended up getting a couple of F91 classic kits. And one of them is the Vigna Ghina. I actually do have the unit, but it's actually not in the best shape. So apologies, just a heads up. And here it is. Okay, this is the early 90s Vigna Ghina compared to 2018 Vigna Ghina, and you guys can see the difference right away here. Now I do want to point out something here, and this unit actually got a more rounded look compared to this one here. And let's just put this aside, and as you guys can see on the top hatch there, it got some edges. Now if you guys actually watch the series or the movie, it actually the reason for that is the protagonist ended up switching side from Crossbone Vanguard into Earth Federation, and the top hatch had been damaged. Now Bandai decided to add an extra part, and this is it. This is the regular part here. So you do have two options. You got the captured version or the Crossbone Vanguard version. And there's actually not a whole lot of difference, just the edges there. There you go. Okay, so aside from that, I want to do a side-by-side comparison here right away between the old and the new. Now I'm going to start off with the beam shield here. And as you guys can see, this is the proportion of the reborn beam shield. And this is the classic beam shield. Very, very different. Okay. Now, the other difference between these two units here is the wings. This is actually just one. And reborn, actually, you can actually move the wings individually. Okay. Now, the reason why this have an odd design is due to the fact that these are the one of the thrusters, giving it a lot of agility during battle. Okay, so the pilot of this unit, as I'll mention again, her name is Rona Bera. She's apparently royalty for the Crossbone Vanguard, and she ended up switching sides to Earth Federation. Okay, so let's talk about the weapons of this unit here. We're going to start off with the beam launcher, which I've already mentioned and shown, which is actually quite nice. Handle moves, good articulation, better posing. The next part is the beam saber, and I get the clear effect parts here. And the beam saber is actually located at the back here, and I'm going to show you guys how to remove this. It's actually a little bit steep, so you got to be careful. You may actually have to remove the backpack here, which we'll do right away here. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna put that back later so I can actually show you guys something here. Let's put the side skirt back here. As you guys can see, there's the beam saber. It's actually quite secure. It's actually in the lock position. And let's remove this piece here. Okay. And here's the beam saber, and let's remove one. Okay, so beam saber effect parts is not bad, and there's this part there that actually keeps it secure, and got a really good length, and design is quite nice also. Okay. Now let's just put this back here. There we go. Now let's put this aside. Now the next part that I want to show you guys is the beam shield, which is right over here. As you guys can see, I've already removed it, but I'll show you guys how to install it. Okay, and you might need to get a small screwdriver to take out the part here, and you got to be a little bit extra careful because you might break a piece. Okay. Excuse me. Now, there's one thing that I want to show you guys before moving forward. When building this piece here for your beam shield, you got to be very careful. I'll show you guys here. There you go. Now, there's 2 slots there, and I accidentally ended up shaving it off. Yeah, and that's the downside, is Bandai actually placed the cutting part there, so it mistook that piece as excess plastic, so be careful. So far it hasn't affected the beam shield itself, and it snapped, but my suggestion is you can use a little bit of Tamiya cement, because this is how it's gonna look like. You don't actually have to take it apart unless you're planning on painting it. Now, to install the beam shield is actually quite simple. Okay, here's your clear parts. Just slide that in, and slide this piece in there, and there you go. There's your beam shield. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, that's good. Now the next weapon is the beam rifle here, which is actually quite nice. It's actually currently installed in the handle here. Let's remove this piece here and just show you guys. It's actually quite secure, and there's 2 spots there for left and right. Same goes for the beam launcher here. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's go to the next piece, which is, let's talk about the seam lines and the nubs here and the details. Okay, now as you guys can see, there's a really good details regarding this unit here. I actually thoroughly enjoy. Bandai did a really good job. This is just out of the box. I barely, actually I didn't even put any panel lines here at all, but it already looks nice. That smaller detail looks great, and they still give you the opportunity to customize this unit, which is actually not bad. Now, for the seam lines here, now the seam lines is going to be in your regular areas like the forearms and the legs, but it's well placed. This one here got a seam line that is actually barely visible, so you don't actually have to worry if you are just a straight builder. And you get your seam line at the shoulder here, and this piece here, I may have done something wrong, but there's a small gap in the shoulder here. Okay, it's actually quite nice still. In other areas, even the head actually got really good details. And for the seam lines, really not that bad. Okay, for the legs here, it's not bad also. Okay, now the details are here. These are the thrusters that actually moves, but we can talk about that in a little bit. But the issue that you may actually get is this piece here, where might actually fall off during building. So you might want to use some like a clear nail polish to kind of tighten it a bit. Okay, now for the nubs here, now the most visible nubs that I can think of is actually here at the wings. Now it's actually at the edges here of the thrusters, which is actually kind of annoying, and it's actually kind of thick, so got to be you just be careful when you're scraping off the excess plastic, the nubs. And there's more nubs here at the joint area. That was a little bit of annoying, but you can actually fix that also. Okay, and you get your seam lines here, and the undergate kind of gets in the way, so put that extra effort when you're clearing the knobs or the undergate. What does an undergate means? Rather than being like undergate is where they place the excess plastic underneath away from the part. There you go. That's the best explanation I can think of. Okay, so let's talk about let's do the articulation test here right away, and we're gonna start off with the wings here. So you guys can see the wings actually got some really good articulation here. Each one got its own articulation, which is actually quite nice. Okay, now for the thrusters here, it actually doesn't move. Okay, now the next part is the unit itself. We'll start from top to bottom. Excuse me. Now for the head here, the head got good mobility, and it's actually a ball joint, and it actually got a little bit higher, so Bandai did a really good job. Now the next part is the shoulder and the arms here. Now here is the shoulder piece. Turning this, got 360, which is really nice. This is somewhat double jointed. That's how far it can go. Okay, and for the hands, you only get one pair of hands, just a heads up. Now for the torso, here, there's actually two pieces here. So good mobility, and it can actually turn. Side skirt is kind of getting in the way, actually the back skirt. Okay, now for the waist itself. Now the side skirt is actually ball joint. You can actually remove it easily, so we'll remove that. And you get your front skirt. Got some good mobility also. It's a ball joint. Okay, we can remove that also. So a little bit of a heads up, I actually do have a little bit of an issue here. I may have done something wrong, who knows, but there we go. That should fix it. Okay, here are the legs here. It's a not ball joint. It can do a split. And is this double joint? No, that's how far it can go. And the thrusters here, just a heads up with this top piece here, it might get loose over time, so use a clear nail polish to tighten it up a bit. Okay, and for the feet here, that's how far it can go. There's more details there. Okay. And let's go back to the skirt here. Now, this is the connector. As you guys can see, it's really nice. And for you to be able to install that one piece, where did I put that piece now? Okay, here it is. Okay, so to be able to install this piece here, you're gonna have to remove the back skirt, which is actually quite easy, and you will just have to slide this piece in, and there you go. Install, and just put in your master grade action base, and there you go. We've covered the articulation test, the details, the knobs, and the seam lines. Now let's have a final thought regarding this unit. But first things first, let's put this unit together again. Here are my final thoughts regarding this unit here. I will give this unit an 8 out of 10 due to the fact that there was actually a couple of issues, specifically for the backpack itself. The smaller parts there, the knobs and seam lines are focused on the backpack, but the kit itself is actually quite nice. Now, the next part is the undergate. My advice is make sure that you sand the undergate properly. They're just like nubs. If it gets in the way, you leave excess, you're not going to be able to fit the parts properly. Now, that's actually the issues that I actually do have, which is actually not that bad. Oh yeah, right. The beam shield itself, me accidentally shaving off that part. Better be careful with that, okay? And now let's go on to the good note here. It comes with a really good stickers, which is actually nice. I'm looking forward to placing them and gonna give this unit a matte coat finish. And for the weapons, it comes with the beam savers, a pair. It comes with your beam launcher and beam rifle, and a clear effect beam shield. Now it actually comes with, aside from that, it comes with an option part for the upper hatch here. If you wanted the basic form or the captured version, actually that's the only difference. So yeah, which is actually kind of weird for me. And the other part that I actually do want to mention, the articulation is really good. I like it. And the extra parts also, lastly, that you actually will not need at all. So you can use it anywhere. Yeah. So that is all the time that I got for today. Thank you guys for watching. And highly advisable to get this unit early on to build this kit. And check out my other videos. Have a good day, good night, afternoon, wherever you are. It's time for me to get a cup of coffee. I'll see you guys later.